my uncle bring her back to life and told her that it's not a good time for you to be dead. You owe me $25,000. I know that now as a zombie you can't give me that money back, but you going to work.
I ain't even really start getting in this shit with y'all yet. Okay, so this shit is funny because it's like, I know at least 3 different stories like this. Okay, my uncle brought a dead person back to life so she can pay him his money. Child, very common in Haitian culture. Si Jésus dansait, c'est comme ça m'a dansé. Si Jésus chantait, c'est comme ça m'a chanté. Ah, ah. Now you guys probably clicked on this like, why is she singing church hymns before she started this video? That's because, as you guys can tell by the title as well as the intro, we are actually going to be reacting to some Haitian voodoo stories online. In this case, TikTok. You guys have been asking me to do this for quite some time now, and I've been avoiding it because although I do my own stories, I have the ones that I know should be a little bit more private on the membership. And obviously I read your stories. There's something different about the transference of actually listening to someone talk about these spirits, especially when it comes to them being attacked. I know a lot of you guys who clicked on this video more than likely have never seen me before, so I do want you guys to get familiar with my content to honestly be privy to what's going on. For those of y'all that's already been here, shout out to y'all. Get the corner. Y'all already know we outside, right? But there's a lot of people that are going to click on this video and they're going to continue to use the wrong terms, as more than likely almost every single video that I find is going to use the wrong terms, right? Every one of these videos is more than likely going to say, this person did voodoo on me. They did voodoo on them. That is not correct. Voodoo is a folk religion. It is an ancestry-based religion. People don't necessarily do voodoo on people. In regards to attacks and stuff, they're really talking about black magic. Unfortunately, due to elitism, racism, colonialism, and all the isms under the sun, a lot of people have lumped Haitian voodoo in with black magic, but it is not the same thing. Same thing with witchcraft. Like, everybody uses all those words interchangeably, thinking that they're the same thing, but they are not. And I need you guys to understand that before you start watching these videos, whether it's mine or other people's videos. Haitian voodoo is not demonic. It is not one of those things that people just, oh, ma p'tite voodoo sou. Like, even though that's what people say, it's kind of like, think of it this way, right? You know how a lot of us call people friends, even though they're not really friends, they're just colleagues, or they're just someone that we met like, you know, a month ago, and we're speaking to someone about that person. We just say friend, but it's not a friend. Same concept. A lot of people are just gonna say, oh, voodoo, li fait voodoo, da, da, da. This person did voodoo, but the real term is technically black magic, right? So keep that in mind. And depending on the type of person you are, what your spiritual beliefs are, etc., a lot of people don't even like to call it black magic. A lot of people call it gray magic because a lot of people justify why they do these things to people. So for example, someone might owe you money. Someone might have touched your child. Someone might have sent something after you. So now it's a Uno reverse. Understand? Y'all catch my drift? So a lot of times people like to say gray magic because a lot of times it's the person taking matters into their own hands. Now, obviously, if you're very Christian or you're a Bible verse thrower, and you just go around saying everything's demonic because you do not understand it, everything is going in one ear and out the other right now. But I do need you guys to understand that and watch these videos and other videos that you come across that are like this with an open mind. But of course, before we get started, I'd like to say thank you to all of you guys who have been congratulating me on starting my dance nonprofit, LAKAYRO. Lakay means home. Ro is short for my last name, Romelus. It is a dance nonprofit for underprivileged youth and adults. And our first set of classes actually start in March. So if you are in North New Jersey, I'd love to see you there. Everything is right here on the screen, but everything is going to be waiting for you down below when you're ready as well. So let's get into these reactions. I have my Earl Grey tea. Okay, let me know what you guys are sipping on. What are you snacking on down below? For those of you guys who like to complain that I talk too much before I start my videos, I know you're not a regular and I don't give a flying fushette. That's why I'm taking my goddamn time. Kono get Ou pas dim comment pour faire bagay mwen, sous Chanel mwen, malpropre sans ave. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, that was mean.
A lady went to my uncle, borrowed $25,000 from my uncle. My uncle said, okay, no problem. I'll give it to you. Just let me know when you're going to give it back. She said, don't worry. I will give it to you less than 3 months. He was like, okay, cool. No problem. My uncle went to the bank and gave her the $25,000. 1 month after, my uncle heard that she passed away. This is the news. My uncle heard that the lady passed away. Mind you, he just let her borrow $25,000 and she just died just like that.
All right. You know what's funny about this? A lot of you guys, when I do these videos, right, based on Haitian Voodoo or whatever the case may be, a lot of people, if it's not Bible verses, it's, oh, these stories are fake. Oh, look at the clickbait. Da, da, da. That's why I chose to do these videos, because it's like, y'all need to really venture out of just me. Maybe I'm your first introduction to Haitian culture, and a lot of you guys are probably like, bitch, why are you laughing? This is real shit. Like, I lived this. That's where a lot of my stories come from. They sound crazy. They sound outrageous. And the crazy part is the stories that I've put on this channel, as well as the membership, are the tame shit. Okay, that's the PG. I ain't even really start getting into this shit with y'all yet. Okay, so this shit is funny because it's like, I know at least 3 different stories like this. Okay, my uncle brought a dead person back to life so she can pay him his money. Ciao. Very common in Haitian culture.
When my uncle went to her family and said that, okay, your mom came to me and I borrowed her $25,000. All I need is my money back. They said that you have to talk to my mom, but too bad she dead. There's nothing you can do for me. He was like, oh. He called me and he called some other people. They had a meeting. I was a kid, I didn't know better. And later that night, after they buried her, my uncle went straight to the cemetery and bring her back to life. You guys might think it's a joke. And really, most people,
Crazy,
when
man.
they dead, people who practice black magic, they able to bring you back to life. My uncle bring her back to life and told her that it's not a good time for you to be dead. You owe me $25,000. I know that now as a zombie you can't give me that money back, but you're going to work until you give me that money.
Yo, I should not be laughing. This is not funny, but it's funny because if I were to sit here and tell you guys these stories without this context and someone else backing me up and saying it happened to them, a lot of y'all would say that I was fucking nuts. And it's like, I need y'all. Okay, I implore y'all, especially on TikTok and Facebook. That's where you're going to find a lot of these personal, crazy ass stories. Go. Look, you're going to hear some things that you like, your mind's going to be blown, okay? Mermaids, zombies, all of that. We've already talked about zombies on this channel. I'm going to try to remember to link it down below, but if you can't find it, Chronicles of a Zoe, zombies, you will find it. It's some of my most popular videos next to the mermaid videos. The zombie thing, very common. Most of the time, it's literally so the person can work, right? It's either a punishment, or in this case, if the person owes you money, you just make them come back and make them work for it. Like, this is, it's crazy because I know there's people that's probably watching this like, what the fuck did I just click on? Welcome. Subscribe.
Our uncle made her work for months until she gave him back the $25,000. You guys heard so many stories about Haiti, and you guys know that Haitian people, they able to bring the dead back. If you're here listening to me and you're from Haiti, you know what I'm saying. You do not mess with black magic. Haitian people, they really good on that. It's part of our culture. Don't get upset, people. We practice black magic. I'm one of them.
He's not wrong. Like, it's so crazy because you get people that get so upset, like, oh no, that's demonic. It only happens and it only becomes a thing if you believe in it. No, it has nothing to do with that. It's very real. It's not all necessarily demonic. Just like he said, he practices it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's doing harm to others. That's why I said A lot of times some people see it as gray magic. Personally, I feel like black is black, white is white, but there is gray. Like again, someone touches your child or someone touches you in a way that you do not wish to be touched, and you said the cop's not doing something about it. Zombie. You gonna wake up as a pig. Like, fuck is you talking about? But this was an interesting story because I did have at least two very similar stories to this. Let's move on to the next one. Now, right, the thing is with this guy, he had went viral with a different post in which he talked about why he left Haiti because he saw his uncle bring his aunt back to life. Now, this is the sister explaining the story. I don't believe I ever saw an original video about this or whatever, but I know this is an old story because you guys sent this one to me too. I'm sorry, I misspoke. Sister died and the uncle brought her back to life.
Up again. That's very common in Haitian culture. So what happened was his sister got into an altercation with a woman in the neighborhood. I guess in English it would be like a witch. These people practice black magic, but they don't let it be known like that. So she got into an altercation with the woman, and she disrespected her, fussed her out. One thing about Haitians, they do not like when younger people disrespect adults. They take that very seriously. And so I guess she fussed out the woman. The woman said, all right, I'll give you 3 days. They don't usually say much. When they're witches like that and they practice black magic and they know what they're doing, they don't say too much to you. They don't do too much talking. They just give you a time frame. Or they don't say nothing at all. But for her, I think the woman told her, I give you 3 days. And then the sister was like, despite her being raised up in that culture, she still disregarded the woman, still was rude. And then when the 3 days came, she got sick. She had a fever. And then no medication would bring down the fever. No doctor could help. And then they heard that she passed.
This is some real shit. And again, if you watched my channel for a long time, you would know I've talked about stories like this. Someone does something, someone pisses someone off enough. Now you are really mumbo, or they are a mumbo, or you are really ogon, or they are ogon, you are really bokor, or they are bokor, and mulamui. Ubi, the person has like a life full of misfortune. Real shit.
So after
2 months.
After 2 months?
Yeah.
Okay, she passed, and then the funeral was held, and then he has an uncle that practices the black magic, and they end up finding out that it was through black magic she died, not from natural fever or sickness. And then he did what he did, and he rose her up from the dead. I know it sounds crazy. The reason why I believe it, I've been hearing these stories since I was a kid too, because my parents are from Haiti as well. But someone who does not have a Haitian or African background or Caribbean background, it seems crazy. It seems like a story, and a lot of people don't like to believe it, but there's so many stories about this stuff. Like, but they're not stories. They're reality that happens back on that island.
What she said, okay? I feel like a lot of people come into contact with my content or other Haitians, Caribbean, or African people's content that talk about this, and it's like, oh, that's fake. Oh, you're making it up. Oh, clickbait. And it's like, my life is a movie. I don't gotta do that. If you think this is crazy, wait till I really get into the shits for real.
This is another story. To catch up, watch my other stories on my page so you can, catch up. So this is a story about the time that someone did voodoo on my mom, and this was recent. This is like 2016. So basically what happened was, mind you guys, I told you in the last story that my mom ended up going to Haiti in 2013 to bury her father. That's where it started. When mom went to Haiti, a family friend who was also in the vehicle that came to pick up my mom from the airport in the capital, ever since then, him and my mom, they became like friends. So when my mom ended up coming back from Haiti around that time, she ended up telling me and my younger brother that she was going to go to Haiti for 2 weeks to just have a vacation, which I thought was very odd because, mind you, me and my mother, of course, we were born in Haiti. We came to the United States in 99. And since that time, my mom has not been back. I've been back, but not her. So I thought that it was very weird that she was like, oh, I'm going to go to Haiti for 2 weeks. So at that time, me and my brother, we ended up staying at my uncle's house in Green Acres for 2 weeks. automatically, when my mom came back from Haiti, I felt like something was weird about her. Like the vibe was just very off, and I couldn't put my finger on it. So fast forward to just that one day, I was standing in the living room, and I was looking outside the window because, like, in the living room area, there's a window. And my mom came out of her room, went into the kitchen, and she's just rubbing her forehead, and she was just like, she looked stressed. So I see her at the time. This is like before like WhatsApp was like a real thing. I think they still had the little calling cards.
Mm.
So she went and she called the guy. And I don't care to give his name, but I'm gonna give his name. His name is
Ips. We ain't about to post that. I'm gonna cut the name out. But all that to pause to say, like, when I'm telling y'all, like, it's so crazy how a lot of like kids in the diaspora like to be like, oh, I don't care, I don't know, I don't want to know, da da da, because this is the type of shit that's gonna affect y'all, right? Like, if your parents are involved in stuff, if your parents are doing things they have no business doing, or wronging people, or pissing people off, it's going to affect you. It's not about what you want. It's not about how you feel. It's not about your personal beliefs. Your lineage is in danger if you're doing caca. Like, that's really what it is. So in this case, I think I already see where this story is going. Let's see if I'm right.
And she ended up calling him and she said to him, are you doing this to me? And I don't know what he said straight up because the phone was not on speaker. So I guess in the midst of him talking to my mom, he told my mom, get some water, mix some salt, and take a spoon. So basically water and salt. She took a spoonful of that and then immediately her headache was gone. Then that same night, my mom just was being funny and everything like that. Just had a very weird vibe about her that I did not like because I know my mom. And it was just very strange. So one day, my grandma decided to take my mom to this church, and the church is called L'Église de Jésus-Christ with Pastor Noé. I gotta give these names because I appreciate these people. So my mom ended up going to the church, and the pastor had her come up to the front. You know how Haitian churches are. They always have someone who's in distress. They always have them come up to the front, put a little oil on them, and they pray for them, and everyone is singing and everything like that. Guys, I promise on everything I love, the minute my mom went up to the front of the church and she got on her knees and the pastor put that oil on her forehead, my mom passed out. And she was wearing a dress. So my grandma had to go pull the dress down. But my mom passed out and the pastor said, "Quítela," meaning leave her on the floor.
Funny enough, if you guys have been watching me, you would know I have a story time like this about someone that was being spiritually attacked. I have two. Somewhere on this channel. I hope I remember the linking down below. I don't remember what I named them, but one where the person passed out in church. No, both of them. Yeah, both of them passed out in church. Shit, they didn't even need to go to the front. They was under such spiritual attack. Just them walking in the church knocked them the fuck out, right? So very common shit.
So from there, my mom stayed on the floor and everything like that. So and then finally she was able to get back up, but she just looked very like, dizzy. So when church was over, we came back home for like, I want to say like a good 2 days, everything was all right. So after those few days and everything like that, I woke up in the middle of the night. I swear on everything I love. I woke up in the middle of the night to go to the restroom. My restroom is like literally right across my room. And if I look to the left, straight down is my mom's room. That night, I'm getting goosebumps. That night, I remember getting up, and I wear glasses, as you can see. And I looked to the left, and I just saw like a little, I'm getting goosebumps. I looked to the left, and I saw this shadowy thing just like past the door of my mom's room, but not leaving, but going in. And mind you, in the living room area, there's a window. So sometimes like these lights right here, there's a light that's like very close to that window. So I thought that it was a car passing by because the blinds were like turned a little bit. So I didn't think of anything of it. And plus I didn't have glasses. So I hallucinate at night sometimes when I wake up to go use the restroom. I think I see shit. The next day, I got goosebumps. I don't feel like I should be talking about this.
Crazy enough, right? Before I knew I was born with a veil, right? Because my parents always used to tell me, "Ufeta kwaf, ufeta kwaf." I never knew what the fuck that meant until I became an adult. And I had to ask some people, like, what the hell does that mean? I thought I was also hallucinating. I thought I was low-key fucking crazy. And then I realized, like, no, I can actually see stuff. And then I started thinking about back in the day, all the there's this story that happened with a family member where the only way, or better yet, the only reason they knew something was going on with her is because I can see it and no one else could. And that's when they were like, girl, like, why didn't you tell us you could see stuff? I'm like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I was a kid at the time. So you know what? Maybe I'll tell that story soon. But a lot of times y'all are not hallucinating. A lot of times you're seeing things that other people cannot. Okay, welcome to my life.
The next day, I go to school and come back home, and my mom was just very weird in the house. It was so bad that I had to call my grandma, and my grandma came over. So my grandma said, "You know what? I'm gonna call the pastor." The pastor came in by himself with his Bible. Me and my brother, we sat on the couch. My mom was my pastor told my mom to get on her knees. The second the pastor touched my mom with the oil, my mom passed out again. But when she passed out, she opened her eyes and she started speaking. But it was not her voice. It was more like a very like scratchy type of voice. And the pastor said, "Who sent you?" And the thing was like, oh, how can I say this in Creole? In English, I mean, he was like, "Oh, I'm not leaving. They sent me here to come get money. I'm not gonna go anywhere until I get what I came here for." Da 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 da. And then the pastor was just like, "Who sent you?" And then it was just like, "Oh, I don't have to tell you who sent me," and da 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 da. And then the thing said, "I came here last night," and then instantly I thought, "Shit, that's what I seen past the door." Like, if it said that I came last night, when I got up, I know what I saw, yo. And when it said that, I instantly was like, I told the pastor, I saw this shadowy, whatever the hell it was, go into the room, but I thought that it was the headlights of a car from outside passing by, because that's the entrance. And I'm like right in there, this area, this building. And the pastor stood over and had my mom in between his legs, and he was standing over her and he was just praying on her. There was at some point my mom got up and tried to run out of the house, but luckily he grabbed her. It was so bad, guys, that he had to call 3 people from the church to come help. It was 2 women and a man. I don't know the other lady's name, but she's more like the lady in the church who has the dreams, and she'll come to the church and tell the people what she saw. And the other one, I gotta give fake names so I don't put these people out there. One was Frere Johnson and Se Monica. And the other lady.
You know what's interesting, right? You have these people, especially in Pentecostal churches. This is where I've seen it the most. You have people, right, that come in and they prophesize, they have these dreams and all of that. And no one ever says that's demonic. But everything else that doesn't have to do with Christianity it's mad interesting to me. Like, I grew up going to so many different types of churches. I'm talking about Pentecostal, Adventist, Catholic. I was baptized Catholic, went to Catholic school pre-K to 8, but I went through different churches because I just didn't really care for how Catholic churches did things. Jehovah Witness, like, I've been through so many different churches, and I'll say the Pentecostal people are very, very spiritual. It's very interesting. I want to know what sect church she's talking about, because I guarantee you, if it's not, it has to be them, or maybe Adventist. But all that to say, it's interesting because it's like when these people are in a church and they're saying, "Oh, I had a dream and Jesus is coming back." It's seen as like, oh, like the Holy One. But let somebody say that and they're not 1,000% Christian, and it's like, oh, that's devil work. Like, that's mad crazy to me.
We're gonna call her Says. She said, because I don't want to give their names. And like, they came and they had to hold my mom down while she was fighting with that thing, and my grandma was there. My grandma sat on the other side of the couch just watching, and it was very sad to see. We found out that that same guy named Frenzy that my mom went to go spend 2 weeks with in Haiti, he sent that thing on my mom. So the day that my mom took that water and that salt, she fed whatever the hell he had sent on her, and it gave access to her body, which is why when she went to the church and passed out, it got out of her body and came back a few days later when I seen it come through that night. And long story short, they took my mom into the bathroom and put her in the tub, but they took one of the chairs from the living room and put it in the tub. They had my mom sitting in, and when I told you they poured bottles and bottles, if you're Haitian, you know Zivin is wine, that grape wine that they give you at church. Y'all see what my eyes look like? That grape wine, they poured it all over my mom. I tell you, she passed out so many times. There was at some point she came back to herself. And she started walking around the house, but they would make sure they were following her closely because, you know, you could get tricked with shit like that. And at some point she sat down and my mom was wearing this gold necklace. I'm going to insert pictures. This video is a bit too long, but I'm going to give you guys a part 2. Hopefully, if I have the courage enough to give you guys the part 2, because I'm getting goosebumps and I feel weird. But yeah, I'm going to give y'all part 2. Just comment if you want a part 2. But I'm going to leave this story off right here. Thanks, guys.
Shout outs to the ancestors. Shout outs to God. I made sure I did my due diligence before I started filming this. I will say this is actually really unfortunate that she had to watch her mom go through that and that she had to experience that. And this happens to a lot of people, okay? Inside the diaspora, outside of the diaspora. It's real, okay? Magic is real. A lot of people like to think it's fairy tales, it's Disney, it's this, it's that. It's not. So let's watch part 2.
So after everything's said and done, and, you know, the people did what they did for my mom, they brought my mom back to the living room, and obviously the woman walked into my mom's room. What the fuck? Jesus Christ, what's happening? So my mom walked into my mom. What the hell just happened? Okay, so the lady walked into my mom's room and, you know, she was just getting a fill out of the room. So then for some reason, she just didn't have a good vibe. So I remember my mom had a black suitcase, a small black suitcase that was inside of the closet. And that black suitcase had the guy's dress shirt in there. It was a pink dress shirt, like a pink peach kind of dress shirt.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why you do not leave your stuff out people's house. You do not let people borrow your shit. You do not take other people's shit because yo cafe bagay la done. In this case, it was a good thing because they were able to do whatever they did. But don't do that. Don't be leaving your stuff at people's houses. Don't be letting them borrow your stuff, especially clothes, hair products, etc.
And they asked my mom where she got it from. My mom said that the man in Haiti gave it to her for her to wear on the airplane because the airplane get cold. So they told my mom that this has to go in the trash along with the suitcase. So later on that night, after everything, my mom had me take the suitcase and the dress shirt to the dumpster. So all the way down here, there's a big ass compactor, but it cannot fit everything inside of it if you know what a compactor is.
So I did a video, right? I think it was called like how to tell someone's doing voodoo on you or black magic on you, whatever the case may be, right? And I talked about gifts and how some people that really hate you are sending shit through you through gifts. And you should not just be accepting gifts from any and everyone because basically it creates a tether. Okay, it's a tether and it's easier to send something after you if you keep whatever it is and, you know, they send something after you. That item is used as a tether. So listen, another example of what I've been mentioning for years on here.
So I had to take the suitcase and put it on the side so it can get thrown out. Something told me to just turn around real quick and it just got really dark. Like the way that you see outside look, like I said, there's light, but for some reason back there, it just got really dark when I left that damn suitcase there. So then after that same night, my mom went to bed, woke up the next morning. She was okay. She seemed all right, but she told us that something came into her room and hit her over the head with something. So I looked at her. She didn't have any type of physical, you know, bruising or anything like that. She said something came into her room and hit her over the head. So everything started to get a little crazy. Whatever it was couldn't get back and do what it did. But I do remember that my mom said that we're going to be attacked. Because whatever it was that they ended up casting away, they cast it away, but not permanently.
Yeah.
So it's going to come back. And at some point it did. So my mom ended up getting baptized before me and my brother did. And throughout that time when we did not, I got baptized back in Haiti, but a second a baptism, so whatever. So my brother went to bed one night, and for some reason, he told me the next morning that he was trying to wake me up because something was like putting pressure on him. Like he couldn't breathe and he couldn't speak. But I did not know that. And then he told me one night he came into my room and he just saw something hovering above my bed when I was asleep. But then at some point when he tried to wake me up, it went away. And then my grandma, oh man, my grandma was going through a lot too because that man was also doing voodoo to my grandma because I guess he felt like my grandma was cutting the contact off with him and my mom, but my mom was the one that decided to like not keep in contact with him because it was him that was doing everything because that thing that took over my mom's body said they sent me here to make sure that they get money. They want money. They are not going to stop until they get money. So
now, what's interesting, I want to know what the story is with the money. Did she owe him money, etc.? Nonetheless, I always feel like money is not a reason to kill somebody or try to kill somebody or to attack someone spiritually. I feel like money is a worldly possession, and when we die, we're not going to have the money anyway. So yes, I understand we all want our money. We don't want to be, gypped. Someone owes you money, they should pay it. But in regards to doing shit like this over money, I always found it really, really nuts. Mainly probably because like I'm a very moral driven person. And I feel like shit like this should be reserved to a breakdown of morals and character. Not, oh, this person owes me $1,000. I need my shit. Let me send a zombie after them. It's insane. But in terms of spiritual help, I only help people that I personally know. People I grew up with, people I've known for literally over a decade. Other than that, I don't do public shit for multitude of different reasons. But one of the main reasons is because 9 times out of 10, if you're trying to break a bond or trying to break a spell or trying to break whatever it is, the shit's gonna come after you. and I definitely have had things come after me and try to attack me because I broke something or I stopped something from happening. Like it's especially 2025? Oh my God. And 2024? Like whatever was attacking my dad, which I've talked about on Patreon, as well as my membership, like that shit be trying to come back time and time again. Sometimes you can only mitigate it temporarily. Sometimes a baptism helps. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes converting helps. Sometimes it doesn't. So yeah, there's so many different factors that goes into shit like this.
The pastor and those 3 other people that came to the house, they did what they had to do to send that thing off. And I remember like my grandma was, me and my brother ended up getting baptized. And oh yeah, for another thing, my mom's phone, when my mom was in Haiti, he took my mom's phone for like 2 days, she said. And he put something in her phone, which caused him to like hear the phone calls that my mom had. So that's how he was able to like, keep up with everything. I don't know how he did it, but she said that he did take her phone from her for like 2 weeks. Also, and he took one of her panties. And Haiti,
is this a boyfriend or something? Like, what the fuck type of dumb shit? Yo, is your mom not hip to the shit? You don't give a significant other your phone, okay, long enough for them to install something like that. This is why I don't do the phone shit, period. Never touch my man's phone. He's never touched my phone. I feel like if you cannot trust your partner, you just shouldn't be in a relationship or you shouldn't be with that person, point blank, period. What is checking the phone going to do? Okay, I found out he's cheating on me. Okay, bitch, leave. The only reason you would be checking the phone is if you thought he was cheating in the first place. And most of the time, you're more than likely right. So why go and confirm it? Like a lot of people, oh, I need confirmation. No, you don't. You need to love yourself more or you need to stop trusting caca. Okay, like what? I don't know. I feel like it's a complete invasion of privacy. And in this case, the fuck? Like, especially Haitians, like if you guys follow my personal channel, y'all know about my cousin Ricardo. Ricardo's ex-wife did this shit to him. And we, to this day, cannot figure out what app it was, how they did it, but some way, somehow she like cloned the phone and she was able to see everyone he was communicating with, everything he was talking about. Maybe Haitians just got this thing. Like maybe it's a secret Haitian app. I've been trying to figure it out. Still don't know what it is.
Everybody know you never let nobody take your panties in Haiti because if you go and do shit with your panties. So 2 mistakes that she made, but I think the panty situation she didn't really know. So my brother ended up taking my mom's phone to a lake that's like somewhere around 45th Street. If you know, you know. And my brother said with his own mouth, because him and my grandma went, me and my mom, we did not go. He came back and told me and my mother what happened, including my grandma. She told us too. My brother took the phone, threw it. The phone came back and fell next to the tire of my grandma's car. And it basically, my grandma was shitting bricks. So my brother took the battery out of the phone, stepped on it, and then threw it back into the water. So now my mom is like, listen, to protect you guys from this, I need both of you to get baptized. So I will never forget, I had red braids in my hair at that time. We went to that same lake where the phone was thrown in. Me and my brother both got baptized that day. So now were just waiting on my grandma, because my grandma said one night when she was sleeping, she had a dream that she was stuck in like a hole, like a grave. And who ended up being in the grave with her? That same man who did voodoo on my mom. And he basically attacked her in her dreams. And when my grandma woke up, she had little bruisings all right here and stuff like that. So that's how we knew, like, listen, my grandma needs to get baptized. But my grandma was like, oh, I need to ask my husband. God rest his soul. He's deceased.
Aww.
He died a year ago. And I guess my mom had to let my grandma know, like, when you die, there's no husband. It's like, it's now or never. Like, you're going to keep getting hurt by this person. So my grandma ended up getting baptized finally. So now the only issue that we had, I'm seeing something and I can see it. I'm not dumb. But so now it came down to the house situation. Everybody from the church came to our house. Guys, when I tell y'all, everyone from the church came to our house and walked into every single room, and they took the grape wine, rubbed it on the wall along with some oil. And that night, my mom said that whatever was in the house, it all came out of the house after the house ended up getting, blessed and everything. Because whatever that man sent, it just stayed attached to the fucking house. Because my mom felt her weirdest when she was in the house. Outside of the house, she was able to function. But in the house, it was weird. And I used to feel bad leaving her at home alone because I know shit was happening. But I'm actually going to... Let me put his picture up and his Facebook. That's him.
Hey, mes amis, pas besoin de travailler ici de là, non. Y'all about to put me no shit. We are not going to, let me make sure this person is not following me or anything like that, to be honest. But yeah, I'm not about to add none of this shit in there because y'all got me fucked up. But I will say, right, shout outs to that pastor, shout outs to that church, shout outs to them being very diligent. Because first of all, I don't know many Protestant churches that are like, keen on doing stuff like this. That's how you know that's a real pastor who's really called to serve the Lord. I feel like a lot of these pastors is fake. A lot of them ain't shit, and a lot of them ain't got no real power to do anything but talk. But I'm a firm believer. Not everyone can be a spiritual leader. Not everyone can do tarot. Not everyone could be a pastor of a church. Not everyone could be a priest. I feel like you have to have a legitimate power behind it. Like a spiritual power, a spiritual leadership behind it. Like I feel like people that just have that desire are different from people that have that gift, right? They're different from people that legitimately are like called to serve in that way. So shout outs to him because not every pastor would be able to do it and not every pastor would be open to do it. Okay. And honestly, the fact that she outed this nigga, I hope she's still alive because
look at my mother. Look at me and my mother. I was 4 years
that's
old.
so cute. This was my
4th birthday. And my mom was pregnant. This was like before everything. Look at my
She's
mom.
a baddie.
And because of money and greed and because, you wanted to get money from her and everything like that, you decided to do what you did and make my mom really sick to the point where my mom was almost skin and bones at some point. My mom could have died that day, literally. And when my mom got baptized and he realized he couldn't get to my mom, look at me. And when he realized he couldn't get to my mom anymore, he started attacking me and my brother. And my mom only had us two, me and my brother. That's it. I have other siblings on my father's side, but on my mother's side, my mom didn't play about me nor my brother, especially me, because my mom went through a lot with me in Haiti. Like, you know how many times people in Haiti tried to take my life from my mom? And then for my mom to be here and meet somebody in Haiti while she was going through a loss, you decided to do voodoo on her because she was not sending you money. Guys, I tell you, we went through so much in that house. We were seeing demons. We were getting phone calls from Haiti. I automatically knew, don't pick up the phone because you never know. My grandma was getting bruises on her body. My mom used to wear jewelry. The only jewelry my mama ever used to wear was a necklace and earrings. My mom don't even wear that necklace anymore. I can't tell you what happened to that necklace because I don't know what happened to it. And the earrings, she don't wear her earrings anymore either. The necklace got put in a crystal bowl the same day she got possessed. It got put in a crystal bowl, and it had wine and oil poured over it. And it got disposed. My grandma doesn't wear her necklace anymore because the necklace had something on it also. Now we don't experience anything going on in that house. That man, we have not, no one has spoken to him since 2016. Mind you, my mother's father died like 2013. So it's been a very long time. I also have another story for you guys when they try to do voodoo on me. Well, they did voodoo on me, and then they did voodoo on my ex. That's why me and him broke up. Guys, Haïtien, ça seulement regarde Haïtien méchant. Haïtien méchant, they ain't shit, okay?
Listen, not all Haitians are méchants, okay? Not all Haitians are like that, but this was a really good story, and it's unfortunate that she had to go through that, like I said. And I will say that this is a very common story. I have a friend in which something very similar happened to her, and it was a freaking shit show. Like, the amount of hoops niggas had to jump through, like they had to go to multiple pastors. Okay. And that's why I say with my chest, not everyone is called to serve. Okay. Not everyone is called to be a leader of anything, right? Some people just have an interest and they do it. Just like, not everybody should be an Oko, Mumbo, whatever, or like not everyone should do it, but there's people that do it because it's their interest, right? But I feel like you should have an innate calling. You should have that true God-given gift to serve people in that way. And in regards to the person I'm thinking about, I guess all the pastors they went to just didn't have that gift until they found the right one. And yeah, they got rid of whatever. I don't know if I'll ever tell that story because that one was actually pretty creepy and it kind of freaked me the fuck out. But I will say, like, shout outs to those of you guys who have always believed me and never questioned my stories or the validity of them and knew I was never clickbaiting. I was always telling the truth. It's just that Haitian culture, magic, spirituality can be nuts. Shout outs to those of you guys who are practicing, right? And are learning every day and understand that you don't know everything, right? Understand that there are different belief systems that are not like yours, and that's okay. It doesn't mean it's demonic, doesn't mean it's godly, doesn't mean it's whatever. It's just a different belief system. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, shout outs to those of you guys who have already booked your tickets for my dance classes. We're gonna have Konpa dance classes all Wednesdays in okay, the first 4 Wednesdays in March I'm doing Konpa based dance classes. However, every month we're going to change the genres of dance to something completely different. If you're in North New Jersey, specifically near Belleville, New Jersey, I would love to see you guys there. Thank you guys so much. Again, check out all the channels, join the Patreon, join the membership. I actually have a story time series that I've been running on the membership about basically how I had to, let me not give it away because I'm not done yet. Let's say basically how one of my friends is going through something very similar to this with a parent, and they didn't listen to me and he ended up passing away, and the saga's been going on for like 2 years. So I'm telling that story right now in my membership. Again, thank you guys so very much. I love you guys. I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Bye.